Today we set out for a long walk around the outside of the town to the river.
Okay, keep going. I'm retaking the hiking video, so you have to walk past me and keep walking.
There's that bird again, still fishing the lake.
Got him that time. And the end of the
Walking alongside one of the parks, we came across what seemed to be an art gallery, or maybe a museum.
I think it's an art gallery.
But then we came across a monument to Paula Modersohn, 1876 to 1907,
Artist.
a famous German painter.
From the... Just looking at the art gallery.
Eventually, after walking through a tunnel under the road, we approached the river Weser. Following a track and being aware of bikes, we finally arrived at the Schnoor in the medieval centre of Bremen. Close by are modern buildings, but the Schnoor consists mainly of very narrow lanes with a variety of craft shops and a lot of food outlets.
Which would
The Schnoor is Bremen's oldest district. The name means string, and many very picturesque houses are lined up as if held together by string. The main inhabitants in the past were fishermen or sailors.
The jigsaw, locks in there.
Yeah.
A number of craft shops entice the building to purchase a variety of souvenirs, elegant clothes, or delightful delicacies.
Doorknobs.
Oh, doorknobs.
Painted doorknobs. Many bottles of alcohol. Let's take back.
Delicacies seem to be on display everywhere. Historical edifices of the past have been restored, in many cases giving the buildings a quaint old world flavour. Modern art is also on display, if that is your thing.
Okay, we're going past the Katzen Cafe. Narrower. It's about shoulder width apart.
And we found some very interesting cards in this shop.
This one.
It's brushing his teeth.
This one turns into a rose.
Ah.
Some of Judy's photographs highlight the fascination of the Schnoor. From the Schnoor, we moved to the Botcherstrasse, a short street in the centre of Bremen, famous for its unusual architecture, with most buildings being erected between 1922 and 1931. We could not miss the carillon, made of Meissen porcelain bells and erected on the gable of Glockenspiel House. We purchased some bonbons from this shop and were fascinated at watching them made.
Taste Himbeer raspberry.
Much of the more interesting brickwork is seen at this point. We paid a brief visit to the Paula Modersohn Becker Museum. We saw her monument earlier in the day as we walked to the river. On leaving the museum, we move on towards the Platz, passing a street musician as we entered the square. Passing the town hall and the statue of Knight Roland, we noticed an expectant atmosphere in the Platz.
Well, they got the cameras set up there for...
Police cars were entering along the tram lines, and police lined the entrances to this area. A procession of chanting men, women and children soon entered the square, calling on the German Parliament for help in stopping the terror of ISIS on their countrymen. After putting their case in front of the Parliament building through a speaker, they broke away going their own way. We stopped to take photographs of the Bremen town musicians next to the cathedral. Walking back through the city streets, we watched a juggler amusing the crowd with a display of his skills.
Stop! So, das, was ich jetzt mache, bitte nicht nachmachen.
Nearby, a street artist was busy sketching a young woman.
Show how we finished our eventful day.
Then it was time for coffee and cake in Lloyd's Passage. Next, we found a children's play area as we headed back towards our apartment. In the foyer of one of the buildings that we passed on our way home, we discovered a variety of interpretations of the Bremen town musicians. Stopping for a while, Linda tried out her limited German interpretations of the writings on the tablets.
The Bremer Stadtmusiker. More of the story. That it was unending, something like that, and he couldn't take it anymore.
Then it was a case of heading for home. And finally we arrived back at the unit.